Hello students. Now let us discuss the female reproductive part of a flower. The female reproductive part of a flower is called as pistil, or it can also be called as gynoecium. A typical pistil of a flower consists of the following parts, that is style, stigma and ovary. Come to the stigma. Stigma is the toppermost part of a pistil. It forms the head of the pistil. The stigma contains a sticky substance whose job is to catch pollen grains from different pollinators or those dispersed through the wind. They are responsible to begin the process of fertilization. Sometimes in different flowers, they are very much colorful to attract the pollinators. Next come to the style. Style is a long slender stalk-like structure that holds the stigma. Once the pollen reaches the stigma, the style starts to become hollow and forms a tube called the pollen tube, which takes the pollen to the ovaries to enable fertilization. Next, at the base, you are having a bulbous structure on the thalamus that is called as ovary. The ovary constitutes the ovules. The ovules are the female gametophyte which constitutes the eggs, which are arranged on an axis known as placenta. Inside the ovary, the ovules are arranged inside a cavity that is called as ovarian cavity, or also known as locules. If you see the gynoecium, sometimes in some flowers the gynoecium will be having one pistil, or it may be having more than one pistil. If a flower is having one pistil, that condition is called as monocarpellary condition. Just it is found in case of your pea flower. Now let us have a look of an ovule or megasporangia sporangium in detail. Here on the right side, image of an ovule is enlarged to show the different parts of it. If you see in the image, you will find that the microsporangia is consisting of the following parts. The parts are hilum, funicle, integuments, micropyle, nucellus, chalaza and the embryo sac. First part is your funicle. It is the stalk of an ovule which connects the ovule to the placenta. In the previous study, I have told you the ovules are arranged on an axis that is called as placenta. So by means of the funicle, the ovules are attached to this axis that is your placenta. Next is your hilum. It is the point where funicle connects the main body of the ovule. Next is your integument. These are the layers that surrounds the ovule. It may be having your two parts, that is your outer integument and the inner integument. The main function of your integument is to protect the inner tissues of the ovule. Next is your micropyle. If you see the diagram of an angiospermic ovule, it is consisting of your two ends. One is your chalazal end, another is your micropylar end. So in the micropylar end, you can see there is an opening. That is your micropylar pore. This opening, which is present at the top of the integument, is called as your micropyle. The main function of micropyle is to allow the entry of the pollen tube into the ovule. That means the pollen tube is growing towards the ovule and it is entering into the embryo sac by means of the micropylar pore. Next part is your nucellus. Inside the your ovule, you will be having some parenchymatic tissues that constitutes the main body of the ovule, that is known as nucellus. The primary function of nucellus is to provide nutrition to the developing embryo after fertilization. Next, chalaza. The swollen part of the ovule which is present opposite to the micropylar end is called as your chalaza. Next, the inner part that is present inside the ovule which is carrying your egg, that is called as your embryo sac. Now let us discuss the process of megasporogenesis and the development of a female gametophyte. The process of forming of megaspore is known as megasporogenesis. This process of megasporogenesis occurs inside the nucellus of a developing ovule. A single-celled archisporium cells differentiates in nucellus near the micropylar end. The archisporial cells divide into outer parietal cell and inner sporogenous cell. These sporogenous cells behaves as the megaspore mother cells, which are diploids, which are the actual cells to form your megaspore. Megaspore mother cells undergoes meiotic division to form 4 megaspores, out of which 3 degenerate and 1 remain functional to form your embryo sac. The functional megaspore develops into female gametophyte by sequential mitotic division. The female gametophyte after maturation is consisting of 8 nucleated embryo sac. 3 cells of embryo sacs are 2 synergids and 1 egg cell at micropylar end forms the egg apparatus. Second is your 3 antipodal cells are formed at the chalazal end. And third is the central cell consists of your 2 polar nuclei but considered as single cell. That means the embryo sac is consisting of 8 nucleated 7 cell structure. Now you can see the mature angiospermic embryo sac structure in the diagram. A typical mature embryo sac of an angiosperm is a 7-celled and 8 nucleated structure. At the micropylar end, an egg apparatus is present which consists of an egg cell and 2 synergid cells. Synergids contain filiform apparatus which guides the pollen tube to enter into the embryo sac during fertilization. At the chalazal end, 3 antipodal cells are present. In the center, 2 polar nuclei are present which get fused prior to fertilization to form a diploid secondary nucleus. Hence, 8 nuclei are constituted within 7 cells. Thus, the embryo sac of an angiosperm is 7-celled and 8 nucleated structure. This is very much important from the examination point of view. Most of the time you are getting the question to describe the structure of your angiospermic embryo sac with a proper diagram.